Alright guys, welcome back to the channel once again, and today we're going to be talking about the guards in Nestjs. So guards basically plays the role of a middleware over here. So like in the Node.js code where we were writing the routes and also we were passing the middlewares before the control function execution, like validation middleware, authentication middlewares and all. So it passes the request into that and then we were moving it to the next function. Okay, so same kind of feature, it's modified into the decorators, and then you can write a code, like you can write your custom decorators, custom guards, or you can just use the existing guards like authentication auth guards and the role guards like that. So you can just define over there and then it will work for you. Okay, so the auth guards are pretty simple. You just need to define your strategies, like the authentication strategies over there, and then it will just take it automatically. That you have to pass the name of those strategies and then it will automatically take the strategy and execute the function for the validation. Okay, but if you want to write the custom guard, so how you gonna do it? So I'm gonna be telling you into this video how we can write our custom guard and do the validation checks and all. Okay, so the main feature is this, like it's a just modification of middleware, like transformation of middleware from the Node.js to Nestjs. So it executes as a middleware over here. Okay, so you can see it's written middleware traditional express application. So there's an example given over here, like few examples like how you can use the guard. So this is the authorization guard. So auth guard is written like this. So class auth guard, so you have to write it like this and you can just pass it into the validation function, which you are going to be writing the next to it, next to this function, can activate function, and after that you can just use that. You can do that to validate. Logic inside the validate request function as simple as sophisticated as needed. Okay, so this is what they have written over here. Same for the they have defined over here how your can activate function works and the execution context and the argument host and all the things works into it. So you can read about it over here, but the most probably it takes your request data from the execution context and provide it to you. So like this. So if you see over here, it takes the context and then they switch to HTTP and then get the request details. Okay, so same how you can get the response as well from here. You can do that. So let's suppose you have to do two things. Okay, pre-validation and the post-validation. Post-validation when all the execution have been finished on the service side. So that's why after that you want to call another function which gonna be post-validation. Okay, so after that another function you want to execute some more logic, so you can just create another decorators and use it post-validation. And same for the pre-validations, you can do that, like you can use the guards, like create a custom guards and then you can validate your request. Okay, so it makes just mostly for request validation it uses. So let's get into this, then we're going to be using a custom guard. So let's suppose in the recent videos I've been showing you, like we have some this controller functions over here. So we're not using the auth guards mostly over there, so we're going to be looking at the authentication guards and the role guard feature, because it's a kind of little bit bigger topic to implement. So that's I'm going to be doing in the next video, but in this video I'm going to be just telling you how we can create the custom guards. Okay, so let's suppose, so I'm just going to be creating one function over here in the source, like guards. Guards. Okay, so guards. Okay, over here, so just keep it small case. Okay, and now let me create my function like requested card request. Let me just name it validate dot guard.ts. Okay, so like this. Okay, so after that I just need to copy the function from here, the whole function like this. You don't have to write it, and just do some modifications. Okay, over here like this, and then let me create another function, validate request as input, request as input. And then I'm just going to be doing this. Okay, so we will receive the request over here, and this start request we have to do this start request. Okay, so we have to return the true and false. Like let's suppose if you return true, so it's gonna be accessible, and if you return false, so it will just break the execution and then throw the response to you. Okay, throw the error response or whatever the response you want to throw, it will throw it to you. Okay, so this is the guard. So I'm just going to make it like validate guard custom. Okay, custom validate guard. Okay, so like custom validation, so it will send the request to me, this validate request. What I'm gonna do, I want to just check like request.header. I just like log it over here, because logic we can write it. So request dot headers. Okay, so we're gonna be printing the request dot headers, but now I'm gonna be including this guard over here. So after this, then use guards custom guard. Okay, so this is included, and this is our the things written over here. Now let me just call this API, and let's see we are getting that thing into the log. So it's not coming. Oh, I included it the wrong place. That's why I should include it over here. Then it will work. I'm sorry. Okay, so let's send it. So you see a request is coming, so the header is coming. So header have this all the details over here where I'm calling it and all the things. So the postman token and all the things are coming over here, the host and all. I have to print like request or something, like reprint all the requests over here, not the header, so we'll get more details. Okay, so you see all header details are coming, request details are coming over here. So request dot query. So let's suppose if you want to pass some query over here, so like test equals to y, like this, and then I just do request dot query and then get me. So you see I got the request dot query, right? So that's how it works, and it's pretty simple to include and it will work. But so main thing is that the using of this in the at the bigger stage, bigger level, so creating multiple cards, executing one and other guard parallelly or same way, so it's pretty difficult. So this is the pre-validation card, so you can use it, but let's talk about the post-validation one. Okay, so which you want to execute after your call finish, then you want to include. So we have interceptors over here, so it plays the same kind of role like a guard. From the guard plays a role, so same kind of role they play over here, but they get executed after your function calls. Okay, so after your controller service throws the response, so after that it get called into your code base. Okay, so into your service call. Interceptors, you can use it for modifying your server response, okay, or do some executions after response. Like after response you want to do some other execution which will take a while to do that, so which should take a while to do that, so you can just put some logic and then you can execute it later on. Okay, that's kind of thing works over here. So you can use this interceptor things. We mostly use it to removing the response architecture, like let's suppose some keys and values you don't want into your response, but it's coming from your service, but you want to avoid it, so you can write on interceptor code and then you can avoid it from there. Okay, so that has defined all the things which we're gonna use into that function, like the execution context. It's the same thing like we use into the guard, so you will get all the details same like a guard, like execution context over there, like you can get the request and response and everything. So call handler, like it callback handle, like the callback function or something you can do, and then you can release your data otherwise. Okay, what's a callback function? So everything is given over there. If you go through the code snippet, so you see this is the code snippet over here. So next call handler, like the next callback function, next function you want to call, so that's why next start call handler over here. Let's use it and let's check this out. So let's go over here, and I have written already one request.interceptor over here. So it's just basic code which is shown over here to you, seen. Okay, so you see the same, I made it request interceptor, and the nest it's implementing from the nest interceptor. Okay, so implements means like just it's a kind of inheriting, like implementing all the things same from that parent class to this class. Okay, so and this execution context we got, and the next call stack, like next for this calling next function. So next start handle pipe the map data, so it will just throw you the response. Okay, or if you want to do some modification into that, so you can do that as well. Okay, so let's go inside this return data from here, and just put tab over here, not this. Okay, so tab, not mapping the data, but all these things just control X from here and then put it over here. Okay, so we just go into the me function, execute it. So you see my hello me is executing first, and call request interceptor is executing later on. Okay, so this function, this function get executed, but the next dot handle, it's called to the another function. Like this interceptor will call first before this you use controller function. Like this function, it will call first, but this function will take as an input, like whatever the main function you have called later on, like after this interceptor, it will take it as a input and then put it over here next dot handle. So once that function will get executed completely with all the data and all, so this will put it into the pipe, and then it will execute this callback later, and then this response dot data will be a final response which gonna be thrown into the response. Okay, I can just log it over here and show it to you. Okay, so let's suppose if I put it, so you see my response data is coming over here as well into the array. So this is my response. You can just, if you want to modify your response data, so you can modify it over here as well. So that's your interceptor works like this over here. So it's kind of pretty simple to modify all the response and then modify your request into the guards. These two are very important things to keep the security on for your applications and make your application as much as secure you can. So you can write all the logics by using the request. If you are allowing anyone any kind of request, so maybe they can pull any data from there. Okay, so it's better to put some validation checks if you are using the Nestjs like this, and then good to go, you will be safe. So thank you so much guys, thank you for watching this video, and I'm gonna be meeting you in the next video. Thank you so much, bye bye.